from Manila is author, columnist and political scientist Richard Haydarian. Richard, welcome to DW. Thanks so much for your time. Now, these exercises are taking place for the first time outside Philippine territorial waters, aren't they? Can you explain the significance of that?
There's so much unprecedented as far as these exercises are concerned. Well, in terms of size and scale of the exercises, last year we also saw close to 16,000 troops, not only from the Philippines and the United States, but there were also participants and observers from other countries, including the United Kingdom, not to mention Japan and Australia. So in terms of size, it's not that different, but it's the orientation, it's a type of weapon system that are being displayed and deployed this year, not to mention, as you correctly pointed out, some of the exercises are going to take place in the South China Sea. That's outside the Philippine territorial sea. So it's a direct challenge to China's expansive claims in that part of the world. And this is one way for the United States to demonstrate its ironclad commitment to the Philippines and also try to deter China. But importantly, some of the exercises are also going to be close to Taiwan. So in that sense, this year's Balikatan exercises has a dual orientation of pushing back against China's aggressive intentions, both in the South China Sea, but also in Taiwan.
OK, we just heard there in our report President Marcos mentioning the mutual defence treaty that Manila has with the US. What would that mean? What would it mean if that were to be invoked?
Right. So this is the big question nowadays. What will it take for the United States to step in and intervene in behalf of the Philippines? Because over the past 6 months, there were at least 3 incidents where China deployed water cannons to disrupt the Philippine resupply missions to some of the disputed land features, particularly to the second Thomas Shoal, which is a low tide elevation within the Philippines exclusive economic zone, but also claimed by China based on its expansive 9-line claim. Now, in one of those incidents, multiple Filipino naval servicemen were injured. So many are asking whether China is breaching its gray zone strategy, meaning using all sorts of intimidation and bullying tactics, but short of using, lethal weapons, or are we talking about something quite different here? So in light of that, I think the United States has felt compelled to come in and draw the line. And this is a very important way. I mean, another thing we didn't mention here is that the United States also deployed its Typhoon missile defense systems, not to mention HIMARS and a whole bunch of very advanced weapon systems for these exercises. So all of this is showing that the United States and the Philippines also have options. They can have a strong common front should China keep on pushing the envelope. And the U.S. will not be just with empty rhetoric, but it can intervene more effectively if things get really ugly in this part of the world. But let's not forget, the provocateur is not the Philippines. It's China that is threatening Taiwan through potential invasion. It's China that is bullying the Philippines in the South China Sea. So the Philippines is responding in kind. And yet President Marcos Jr. also made it clear he doesn't want to escalate tensions, so he's not going to give Americans extra basing access to the Philippines for the foreseeable future. He's just maximizing what's already there.
Political scientist Richard Haydarian in Manila. Richard, thank you so much for your analysis.
Pleasure.